What's happening, party people? This is your guy Damien. I want you to bear with me today. I got a cold, been fighting it for about like a week, and it's pretty bad. It got me sounding really weird, but whatever. Um, let's get right into it. This is the 2017 NXT Takeover San Antonio review. More predictions, I should say. Um, and then right after this, I'm going to go straight into or I might just have a separate video for the Royal Rumble predictions. And I got a few things I need to point out. I don't know really if anybody's really paid attention to it, but that will all be for that next video. But let's jump right into it. First match, we got Roderick Strong versus Cien Almas. I don't know if anybody's really been paying attention much, but I think that Almas needs to win. Strong just got there. If he takes an L, I don't think he's going to hurt. I don't think it's going to hurt him. I really don't. But what they're trying to do at Almas, getting this heel roll going for him and having to be really cocky and that type of thing, I think he needs to get this type of a push. He needs to get that going. So I'm going with Almas on this one. I really can't. Yeah, you got to keep Almas going. You're just burying this man left and right if he keeps losing. It doesn't make any sense to me. And he has the potential. His in-ring work is ridiculous. It's great. But you can't have him keep failing and keep losing. It's not doing anything for him. It's tearing him down. And then people really aren't really going to care too much about him anymore. All right, so next we got the Perfect 10. Against Eric Young from Sanity. Now this one, it can go either way in my opinion because Dillinger needs a win, but Eric Young just being in there fresh like that, can't really see him losing. So it can go either way, and I know I have to pick one, but I'm going with the numbers game, and Eric Young is going to get the win. Ty Dillinger's already down and feeling lower than he can feel. I think it's time for him to come up to the main roster and get a change and go after the IC title, in my opinion. So I got Eric Young and Sanity. Too much for Ty Dillinger. Eric Young with the victory. Then we go into the championship matches. We got hashtag DIY. Ciampa and Gargano versus the Authors of Pain. Another tricky one. Or really another tricky one because DIY hasn't had the belts too long. Excuse me. They haven't had the belts too long. So if you take it off of them right away, what does that mean? Does that mean that you're going to have them fight again for it? Or are you going to bring them up? Or they'll probably have a rematch. And I'm more than likely looking at WrestleMania weekend. And do they get it back? Or do they don't complete the task of retaining their titles and moving on up to the main roster? I think that you can't stop the Authors of Pain. You have to keep them going. They have to be undeniable. They have to be. And so, but they haven't been pinned yet. So what you have to do, you got to have some type of screwy finish. I mean, I think something has to happen to where DIY keeps the titles, Authors of Pain lose. They don't get pinned. They just lose off of some type of a disqualification of some sort. But that remains to be seen on that, so we'll go from there with that. But I got DIY retaining off of some type of a screwy finish. Although I want the Authors of Pain to win. I want the Authors of Pain to be like unstoppable, period. So, next one. We got the 4-way women's match for the NXT Women's Championship. Asuka, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. Now, I think Asuka's gonna retain. If Asuka was to lose, this would be the match because she won't have to take the pin. But you gotta remember, this isn't WrestleMania weekend, so you can't really make a big change like that. Although, if you do make a change like that, then yeah, if you make a change like that, and like say you throw the title on somebody like Billie Kay, which, you know, I don't know who she would have to pin or whatever like that, or maybe even a Nikki Cross, then you have to understand that Asuka's gonna have to get that rematch. I don't know how soon, but if he were to take the title off of Asuka, she's still unbeaten. She hasn't got pinned. None of that. And make her the first two-time women's NXT Women's Champion. Heading into WrestleMania weekend in a collision course with the undefeated Ember Moon. So, gosh, I'm gonna go and say Asuka retains. With a question mark at the end of that, because no, I'm gonna say Asuka retains. I really can't see the other situation happening. I can't see them taking the title off Asuka and then basically just ripping it from any one of those other three girls to give it right back to Asuka so she can have it for Mania weekend. Just really don't see it. So, you know, Asuka retains and she's still undefeated. All right, the WWE NXT World Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura versus the glorious Bobby Roode. This, God, you know, all these matches, I don't really have a confident answer on who I pick, who's going to win. Because Nakamura could retain, but what does that do for Bobby Roode? Does he get a second shot come Takeover? Or does Bobby Roode win and what do we get? You know, maybe a rematch at the WrestleMania Takeover and you could take the top off that. A WrestleMania rematch, WrestleMania weekend, and say Nakamura either gets it back or he just loses again and, you know, he moves on. And Bobby Roode's going to have a run with the belt for like the next year before it's time for him to go up. If he does it, if he has it for a whole nother year, he may not. He may drop it maybe a couple months after, something like that, and come up SummerSlam weekend for SummerSlam. So who knows? That'll be all figured out in due time. I can't really see Bobby Roode, especially at his age right now, spending a lot of time in NXT. I think you probably need to get him up to the main roster at least by SummerSlam, and then you go from there. I mean, have him defend if he's going to beat Nakamura this weekend, then more than likely they'll have the rematch at the WrestleMania weekend if they take that long to do that. You know, gosh, this is so hard. I'm gonna go with Nakamura. I think Nakamura will retain. It will be a good match, and I think that they're gonna set that up for a rematch at WrestleMania weekend in Orlando, and it can go either way, saying as to how Asuka and Bailey, they had Asuka beat Bailey, and then beat her again SummerSlam weekend, and then Bailey ends up going up. So they could do the same thing with Bobby Roode and Nakamura. Like, say for instance, Bobby Roode beats him. I can't really see it. No. Okay, this is how it's gonna go, you guys. Nakamura is gonna retain at Takeover this weekend. WrestleMania weekend, they'll get a rematch. Roode will get the title. Then, I don't know if they'll stretch it to SummerSlam to keep Nakamura in NXT for that rematch. But if they do, then Bobby Roode will retain, and then that's when Nakamura will go up after SummerSlam. So, we'll see how that plays out. Now, that's my predictions for the NXT TakeOver San Antonio this Saturday. I got Almas winning. I got Young over Dillinger. I got DIY retaining. I got Asuka getting that, and I got Nakamura retaining. So I'll come to you guys pretty soon with a video for the Royal Rumble review and predictions. And I have an interesting point I need to point out. It's going to be it's going to be kind of interesting. It'll be something to talk about. And also another thing is that I'm going to be doing a live reaction. I'm going to be going live on Periscope. You can find me at Damien P for Real on Periscope. I'll be going live. Excuse me, guys. Tell you I got this cold. But I won't be going live for Takeover, but I'll be going live for the Royal Rumble. Anything changes, or if I don't go live for the reactions, then I'll try to let you guys know ahead of time. But there won't be no live reaction video or going live on the Takeover. With the Royal Rumble, I will be live on Periscope, Damien P for Real. I'll try to hashtag that WWE Royal Rumble, and we'll go from there, you guys. But until then, wait for my next video for the Royal Rumble predictions. That should be coming soon. Until then, you guys, I'm out.